Today is National Tourism Day. Every year, one day, the President of the United States declares it National Tourism Day as a way to celebrate the power and the importance of this industry throughout North America. And it's so important for us because it's the largest industry in New Orleans, employs 78,000 people, imports $6 billion of new capital every year, and it transforms a small city into a world-class city by providing the attractions, the museums, the venues, the restaurants, the hotels that only a much larger city would have. It's the only way a 350,000 person city can be like an 8 million person city. So it's an exciting time for us, and you know, it gives us an opportunity to talk about a couple of things that a lot of people don't know. The power of travel matters in every neighborhood in the country, in every state, in every county, every parish, because this industry, think about it, it's the largest complement of small businesses in America. The mom and pop shops, the small restaurants, the places that we stop and eat or stay on the way to grandmother's house. You know, this is what is the lubricant of American commerce. Tourism and the travel industry is often not thought of as an integrated industry, but the reality is we're nearly $1 trillion industry. We're bigger than the entire automotive industry combined and double. And that gives you an idea of how powerful we are and how meaningful we are. And you know, there's something else about travel that is incredibly important. Other than maybe the freedom of speech, is there anything more fundamental to an American than the right to move, the right to travel, the right to go where they want to go? You know, I don't think there is. It's the thing that has distinguished us over this past century from totalitarian regimes, from those places that don't protect freedom of speech and basic rights and the freedom of travel. This is at the core of what being an American is about. And it also happens to be that very thing which allows business to run, whether it's getting on a plane or in a truck or a car, carrying your product to market. All of that's part of travel. And as a result, when we roll out new products in virtually every industry in the country, how do we do it? We go on trips around the country. You know, this is one of those industries where from someone first entering the workforce to someone in a big C-level suite, it's every part of every business in America, and we are proud of it, and today we celebrate it.
Tell us a little bit about the march through the French Quarter.
Well, New Orleans on National Travel Day tries to separate itself from the rest of the world. Hey, and the truth is, we have the most colorful visuals of any city in America. You know, the most authentic architecture. This is a place that's real, that's, you know, we get to live in a place where millions of people want to visit. And what we try to do today, to be uplinked all over the country and to be the national model on Tourism Day, is to bring executives, mid-level managers, but hundreds of line workers, elements of culture from neighborhoods, bands, Indians, mimes. We bring everyone here to celebrate the diversity of what travel is, how much it has such an impact on everyone in this city. And we try to make it fun because the essence of travel is the enjoyment that you take from being somewhere different. And when you show visuals of the French Quarter and elements of our culture today as we march through arguably the most important single neighborhood in America, the French Quarter of New Orleans, we're going to really be able to show the world how amazing a place this is and how important travel is.
This is National Tourism Week, and we're going to have a great tourism week for Louisiana. We've got this coach behind us that we're traveling around the state. This is our first stop in New Orleans this morning, and we'll have a parade in typical Mardi Gras fashion in New Orleans here in the Quarter with a lot of the hospitality industry people joining us for a parade, making our way through the Quarter.
So last year, tourism brought in 26.2 million visitors. What kind of an economic impact does that generate?
Well, it's huge. It's about a $10.6 billion economic impact, and that number is actually a little bit higher, 26 million. $665 million in direct tax revenue to the state, which is huge, and 1 out of every 10 people in Louisiana is employed in the tourism industry, 8,000 new jobs created last year. So we're all about economic development and business when you talk about tourism in Louisiana, and sometimes it's often overlooked as a major driver of the economy. But this week we'll be traveling around the state visiting with convention and visitors bureaus and advocates for tourism to remind people how important this is for the state.
Tourism matters because it creates wealth and creates jobs. Creates wealth and jobs, and it employs people, and it is the leading sector of New Orleans. It is the heartbeat of New Orleans, and what New Orleans is all about in terms of the heartbeat of New Orleans. So tourism matters because of its employment base of 78,000 people, because it creates wealth, and it creates a vibrance for the community.
Tourism matters so much because we're a tourism industry here in New Orleans. It matters on so many levels for so many of the local businesses because, as you can see, we're on Bourbon Street, and that draws tourists.
Support tourism. It's a huge industry for the city and for the state, and we need to show our support and do everything we can to promote it.
What does tourism mean to you?
Well, it personally means my job, but I love the tourism industry and I love New Orleans, so it kind of means it's all wrapped in one.
For New Orleans, tourism is so important because it's our industry, and it matters to us that people continue to come to our city and experience the great things that we have to offer.
Tourism means fun. It means enjoying a new city and learning new things.
I'm here to march for tourism. Tourism means jobs. Jobs help the economy of New Orleans, and tourism is essential to the economy of New Orleans.
Tourism matters because it brings a lot of people to the city so they experience new things, and it gives us job opportunities and just good exposure so the rest of the world can see how amazing New Orleans is.
We're the Victory Bells from the National World War II Museum right here in New Orleans, and we have the absolute pleasure of traveling the world performing for our veterans and active duty military year-round.
Why are you here today?
We're here today just to promote our fantastic city of New Orleans and to get more people aware of the World War II Museum and how much of an impact the greatest generation had in our lives.
How does tourism matter to you?
Tourism is huge for us. It's most of our revenue for the museum, and we try to get people in and to make them realize that New Orleans has something special. Well, with Andrew Higgins being right from here, and he was said to be one of the reasons that we won the war with his Higgins boats. So why the museum is here has a huge part of New Orleans tourism.
Tourism is great because I think it really broadens people's horizons, and coming to a place like New Orleans it's just so special. The first time I ever came here to visit, I'm not actually from here, but I just totally fell in love with the city. It's unlike any other place in the United States. It's truly one of a kind.
We're leading tourism for the nation, as we've always done, and that's why we're in the French Quarter, because our French Quarter leads tourism for our city, which leads tourism for this state and for this nation. Tourism matters, and it matters because it's our leading industry. It's our economy. It's the leader of our economy, and it's the leader of the nation's economy.
Tourism matters, I think, because every job in this city somehow touches tourism, and everyone in this city benefits from tourism. Not only that, we have the most rich culture to show to people. When I think of children coming here and experiencing the French Quarter and the beauty of the architecture here, you can experience science, art, and culture here, not like nothing else. Not like you can do on television, not like you can do on the internet. You can touch it and feel it and be a part of it here.
Tourism matters to Plaquemines Parish because we get all of our tourism people from New Orleans. And they come stay in New Orleans and go fishing in Plaquemines Parish, come down to buy seafood. Our whole tourism base is based on so goes the tourism in New Orleans, so goes the tourism in Plaquemines Parish. When there's a busy season in New Orleans, our charter fishermen, our seafood docks, people come down there, they box up seafood to go home, take a charter fishing trip. So our whole tourism economy is based on so goes the tourism in New Orleans. So that's why our team of tourism people are here this morning to show that tourism does matter, not only to New Orleans, but all the surrounding parishes around the state, because it seems like this is the hub which people take weekend trips or day trips and go around the state to see the beautiful other areas of our state.
Thank all of you for coming. I think this is the biggest turnout ever. What an to all the companies. You know, people want to know what the face of tourism is. It's the folks that work in tourism. It's the ones that come from every neighborhood in this city and make it come alive, because, frankly, there's no hospitality in the world that can match what we offer every visitor that comes, and they get to see what having a real culture is about. Today is National Tourism Day. It's National Travel Day. It's National Travel Week. Every year for one day, the President of the United States declares it a national day to celebrate an industry that's often not understood. We're a nearly $1 trillion business that brings $250 million of foreign capital to our shores. And here in Louisiana, it is one of the 2 or 3 largest industries with profound impacts in every parish of the state. But here in New Orleans, tourism is king, because we are the industry that provides the 78,000 jobs from men and women and young people in every neighborhood, in every corner of this city. We are the industry that generates $6 billion of new capital each year flowing into this city. We provide the most support to the city budget.
Let me tell you about New Orleans, Louisiana. And you know it already. It's the most bowl-friendly, the most tournament-friendly, the most food-friendly, the most music-friendly, the most festival-friendly, and just simply the most friendly city on the globe. And we celebrate every day what people across the world try to do, to create something unique, something special that people want to return to time after time after time. And we figured it out in Louisiana. We figured it out in New Orleans, and it didn't take much figuring. It just comes naturally to us. And you're representative of that today. What an incredible turnout. What an incredible parade. I guarantee you no other city in America has had a celebration of National Tourism Day like New Orleans, Louisiana has had. And it's thanks to all of you. I want to tell you what's most important about the tourism industry, and Steve touched on it. The advertisements are great and the messaging is great, but the most important thing in tourism are you. The people who greet people when they come into the city. The folks who work at our welcome centers, the concierges, the folks who work in hotels and restaurants, the people who participate in parades and do the work behind the scenes to make an experience very special for the traveler. That's what tourism is all about. 8,000 new jobs created in tourism last year alone. 1 in every 10 people in this state works in the tourism and hospitality industry. I'm not going to bore you with a whole bunch of numbers except to tell you that we had a record-setting year in the state of Louisiana last year. New Orleans had an incredible year as well, and 2013 is going to be even bigger and even better than last year. And don't for a moment think that tourism is not on the map as an industry in Louisiana. The more we talk about it, the more we promote it, the more we have parades like this, the more we have colorful activities like this, policymakers and people in this state are going to recognize that without the tourism industry, Louisiana's economy is completely flat. We're that big of a driver in what happens in Louisiana. But more importantly, we celebrate all the passions we have in Louisiana, and that's our brand, Pick Your Passion. When you come to New Orleans, Louisiana, you pick your passion, whatever it may be, and you can absolutely find it here. And more people are realizing that, more and more people are coming back, and it's an exciting and optimistic time for Louisiana when it comes to tourism. And it's because of all of you in this room and all your colleagues at every place in New Orleans, Louisiana that welcomes visitors from wherever they come.
The biggest economic driver in this state is travel. The biggest employer, travel. And every part of this industry, the traveler economy, the cultural economy, all of our subsets are the heart and core of what we are as Louisianians, because there's one thing that we're known for more than anything else. It's hospitality. And we want to make sure that everyone knows that investing in tourism creates jobs, jobs, jobs for everyone in every neighborhood, and it reduces the taxes of every citizen in the state of Louisiana because of what we produce.